Now let us look at air pollution in detail. Air pollution is the addition of gases, dust particles, and fumes or order into the atmosphere in a way that makes it harmful to humans, animals, and plants. So, this is because the air becomes contaminated. Actually, our earth is beautifully covered by a blanket of air, and this blanket of air is called atmosphere. So, in this atmosphere, we find protection of the earth and it allows life to exist. Without it, we would be burnt by the intense heat of the sun during the day or frozen by the very low temperatures at night. Without it, we are also maybe affected by the ultraviolet rays, from which we are protected by the ozone layer. So these are our protective blankets which are around us, and we need to look whether we are contributing to destruction of this protective blanket around us. The things that pollute the air are called pollutants. The examples of pollutants are nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxides, hydrocarbons, sulfur oxides. It can also be sand or dust particles and the organic compounds that can evaporate and enter the atmosphere. Let us look at the air pollutants one by one and also look at the causes of air pollution. The major causes of air pollution are emissions from industries and manufacturing activities. All of us are aware that during the COVID times, when many of the economic activities were closed down, we had a cleaner air and there were proofs of the advantages of having clean air. So, emissions from industries and manufacturing activities contribute much to air pollution. Secondly, we also have burning of fossil fuels, the petrol, the diesel that we use. All these leads to the burning of fossil fuels, and we have car exhaust too, which from where dangerous gases such as carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, hydrocarbons and particulates emit. So these are also responsible for air pollution, that is the burning of fossil fuels. Finally, household farming chemicals, household as well as farming chemicals. We have like fumigating the houses, or household cleaning products, painting supplies, crop dusting, insect and pest killers, fertilizers. So these actually also contribute to air pollution. Naturally speaking, we have once again paddy cultivation that emits methane is a major source of air pollution, and forest fires which contribute to carbon dioxide. Let us now deal with the sources of air pollution and its effects. The first pollutant that we can look at is suspended particulate matter, SPM. This is a term that describes extremely small solid particles or liquid droplets suspended in the air. And particulate matter can be made up of a variety of components, including nitrates, sulfates, organic chemicals, metals, dust particles. There is one type of particulate matter, PM10, that is particles with the diameter of 10 micrometer or less. These are small enough to pass through the throat and nose and enter the lungs. Once inhaled, these particles can affect the heart and lungs and cause serious health issues. Another type of SPM is PM 2.5. These are particles with a diameter less than 2.5 micrometers. Now, these particles are very small that they can get deep into the lungs, and also they can get into the bloodstream. So we can understand how the SPM or suspended particulate matter in the air, which we just call it as dust and droplets, these are affecting the health of human beings as well as the other animals. The major sources of these SPM are mainly motor vehicles, wood burning heaters and industries, bushfires, dust storms, and combustion of coal. So the coal based industries can release fly ash, and these can create havoc in the vicinity. If there are coal based industries, these can lead to a pollution of fly ash, and these fly ash can damage the walls of the houses. And you can see how the walls and the area looks like when there are fly ash around. The major effects. Now let us look at the effects of the SPM or suspended particulate matter. The short-term exposure or hours, some hours to days, can lead to, we all know, if there is dust in the air, we have irritated eyes, nose, throat. Secondly, it can also lead to worsening of asthma and lung diseases, even bronchitis. It can lead to heart attacks. It can also increase hospital admissions and premature death due to diseases of the respiratory and cardiovascular system. Long-term exposure of many years to SPM can lead to reduced lung function itself, further development of cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, increased rate of disease progression, and reduction in life expectancy. Now we look at the second pollutant, that is tropospheric ozone. Tropospheric ozone is formed by the interaction of sunlight, particularly the ultraviolet light, with hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides, which are emitted by automobile tailpipes. And in urban areas, high ozone levels are usually occurring during warm summer months. The major sources of tropospheric ozone are combustion of fossil fuels, automobiles, interaction of sunlight, ultraviolet rays with hydrocarbons emitted. What are the effects of this tropospheric ozone? As we all know, ozone layer is a protective layer for all human beings and all the life on the planet itself. But what happens with tropospheric ozone? If it is at the ground level, it can be harmful. If the ozone which is on near the stratosphere and the top part of troposphere is a helpful blanket for us, but when it comes to the ground level, it can lead to harmful effects. What are the effects of tropospheric ozone? Inflammation of eyes. It can lead to irritation of nose, throat and lower airways, coughing, sore and scratchy throat. It can lead to once again reduced lung function and wheezing, shortness of breath. It can lead to asthma, chronic respiratory diseases like bronchitis. Okay. It can also lead to lung cancer. The next pollutant, air pollutant that we deal with is carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas which forms when carbon in fuels doesn't completely get burnt. So it is usually generated by motor vehicles and industry and can also be formed during bushfires. So carbon monoxide levels are typically highest during cold weather because cold temperature makes combustion less complete and that traps pollutants close to the ground. The major sources of carbon monoxide are once again motor vehicles, Secondly, it can also be industrial processes and natural sources like wildfires. What are the effects of carbon monoxide? It is found that it is a minor participant in photochemical reactions leading to ozone formation. High concentration of carbon monoxide can cause physiological and pathological changes and even ultimately death. So carbon monoxide actually enters into the bloodstream through the lungs and reduces oxygen delivery to the body's organs and tissues. So poisonous and the toxic effects of carbon monoxide is evident in the organs and tissues with high oxygen consumptions like brain, heart, and even the skeletal muscle and developing fetus. It can lead to visual impairment, reduced work capacity, reduced manual dexterity, poor learning ability, difficulty in performing complex tasks. Binding of carbon monoxide in the lungs with hemoglobin in the blood reduces oxygen carrying capacity of the blood and impairs the release of oxygen from hemoglobin to the extravascular tissues. Another major pollutant is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a colorless gas. In its solid form, it is used as dry ice. It can be found in spring water and even from volcanoes. It can also be found in fossil fuels and products made from them such as oil, gasoline, and natural gas. This carbon dioxide is used in refrigeration, carbonation of beverages, and production of fertilizers. It is a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. Major sources of carbon dioxide are cement production, deforestation, burning of fossil fuels, and even from natural environment like eruption of volcanoes. What are the effects of carbon dioxide? Number one, it leads to suffocation by displacement of air. It leads to incapacitation and unconsciousness, headaches, vertigo, and double vision, inability to concentrate, seizures, and breathing in high amounts of carbon dioxide may be even life-threatening. It can also lead to blisters and long-term exposure. Prolonged exposure to carbon dioxide may lead to changes in bone calcium. When we speak about greenhouse gases, we say carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gases, and the other major greenhouse gases are methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone. And water vapor is also one of the greenhouse elements. Another air pollutant is benzene. Exposure to benzene can occur occupationally and domestically as a result of the use of benzene containing petroleum products as well as motor fuels and solvents. Active and passive exposure to tobacco smoke is also a significant source of exposure. So benzene is highly volatile and its exposure occurs mainly through inhalation. Because of its solubility, it can easily affect the water sources. It can contaminate the water sources. What are the sources of benzene? The sources of benzene are industrial processes once again, petroleum products, automobile exhaust, off-gassing from building materials, and industrial discharge, landfill leachate, and disposal of benzene containing waste. It can also arise from indoor residential air, that is the building materials, paints, adhesives, etc., cigarette smoke in both home as well as in public spaces. So if you look at benzene, it is a very hazardous pollutant. It can lead to leukemia. It is carcinogenic. It can lead to anemia. It can also lead to a low white blood cell count. Further, low blood platelet count. It can lead to headache, dizziness, drowsiness. It can lead to confusion, tremors, loss of consciousness. And use of alcohol enhances the toxic effect. So moderate eye irritation can be there, chromosomal alterations can be there, and mutations can be there. So from this we know the very hazardous effect that benzene can have, and please notice some of the sources are smoking and the automobile as well as building materials. So we need to understand how we need to avoid smoking for avoiding the hazardous effects of benzene. Another carcinogenic air pollutant is dioxins. Dioxins are a group of chemically related compounds and that are persistent in environmental pollutants. They are found throughout the world in the environment, and they accumulate in the food chain, mainly the fatty tissue of animals. So more than 90% of exposure is through food, mainly dairy products, meat, fish and shellfish. What are the effects of air pollutants? Number 1, acidification. Chemical reactions involving air pollutants can create acidic compounds which can cause harm to vegetation as well as to buildings. So acid rain destroys the leaves of plants. When an air pollutant like sulfur dioxide combines with water droplets that makes up the clouds, the water droplets become acidic and thus forming acid rain. When acid rain falls over an area, it can kill trees, harm animals, fish and other wildlife. Another effect of air pollution is eutrophication. Rain can carry and deposit nitrogen in some pollutants on rivers and soils. This will adversely affect nutrients in the soil and water bodies. This can result in algae growth in lakes and water bodies and make conditions for other living organisms harmful. What are the effects of ground level ozone? Chemical reactions involving air pollutants create the poisonous gas ozone. Ozone can affect people's health and can damage vegetation types too and some animal life too. Having listened to the harmful effects of addition of substances to the blanket around us, the atmosphere, let us now look at the measures to prevent air pollution. What shall we do to prevent air pollution? At our own personal levels, let us start with conserving energy at home, at work, or everywhere. First of all, when we buy products, how shall we choose the products? Choose products which have green labels, which have Energy Star labels. Use environmentally friendly, safe paints and cleaning products whenever possible, and reduce aerosol generating products. Secondly, with regard to the use of vehicles, let us choose carpooling, use public transportation, bike or walk whenever possible, use bicycles. Follow gasoline refueling instructions for efficient vapor recovery, being careful not to spill fuel. Also, be sure that the tires of your vehicles are properly inflated. We can also combine our work instead of going many times for different works by automobiles. Avoid excessive idling of your automobile. Further, refuel your car, your automobile when it is cooler, that may be in the evening. Thirdly, let us also think of mulching or composting leaves instead of burning. Consider using gas logs instead of wood. Conserve electricity and set air conditioners no lower than 78 degrees. And finally, stringent implementation of environmental policies. Let us keep our environmental policies with respect and pay for pollution and go for emission testing centers and keep to the rules and regulations in order to protect and promote our environment.